or call spread or put spread. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so when there is a volatility in the market, like spreads, triangles, straddles, or iron butterfly, yeah, it's one of the safest strategy that any. And so yeah, but mostly I'm an intraday trader, call options or put options. So I will just share my screen. Yeah. Sunny, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, sir, you're audible. Please continue.
Yeah, I've not been able to. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So this is, and as you can see, there is a big resistance, 100 to 30,300, and it gave us clear indication of September that Bank Nifty made a high of around 38,086. So that's happens, and then it went down. And so these are the levels that I have marked, which are the main last 10 trading sessions. So indication that there is resistance at this level. Again, on the 24th of September, you can see rejected this level and came down. This gap up was just a short covering, which happened. There was no zoom in. You can see this was a sideways zone. Again, there was rejection here. So this between the, as you can see, the big players. This was buy, then again sell here. So you can initiate your short trades. I mean, if you are buying 5 lot, 10 lots, then don't price. But you can start initiating short trades around these levels of 38,100. As you can see, there is a strong support at 37,300. Yeah, there is heavy put writing at 37,500 was broken for some time at least. So you can say the Bank Nifty is trapped between this. And since I'm an intraday trader, this range, or anybody who is an intraday trader, this it has enough to initiate intraday trades. And so I will tell you about the one trade which I October, this day. Yes, so on the 5th of October, it was market covering. I will just change to the Nifty chart. I will show you. So this is the, yeah, there was short covering in Nifty, and if I am not wrong, suggesting that the OI difference between calls and puts was more than 4 lakhs on this day. Advisable on such a day, because the only reason why Nifty came down because Bank Nifty crashed. So I think the auto sector was on the boom that day. So what happened in the Bank Nifty? As you can see, when the band in this level, which were the resistance points previously 3 times, as you can see, I bought few input options here. It went down. I didn't book any profits here. Then it went quite higher on that day. So I just let it go as higher as it could. And
sorry to disturb you in screen. There is a Nifty chart.
No, this is the bank Nifty chart. Okay, yeah, just a moment.
Your screen is shut, I guess.
Yeah, just a moment. I'll share again. Can you see now?
Yes, now it is Nifty Bank.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah. So the first time I bought the put options here, it was trading around, I think, 240 or something. And when it went up, the premium decay was much higher than I expected. So I bought more. Tells you never average your options, but yeah, sometimes it is advisable if the data is suggesting that you are in the right direction or your trade is going in the right direction, hold that option with such a premium decay, because you won't get, basically you won't get any profits if you don't average. That's why I said that for the lot size which you are going to buy, don't buy it at one time. If you are buying 10 lots, then buy the market goes in your direction, then all good, you can book your profit. But if it reverses and you are going in lost, so that your profits will be much higher. So I had a big position size, that half of it around this candle, and after that everything went haywire. So this level, which was the close, because I didn't think, I actually wasn't convinced. So I booked my profits when bank Nifty took support here, and I got out, and well, and it gapped up next day. So yeah, and again, see, there are two things that when it comes to index trading, you just have to trade on the trending day. This was not a trending day, and then again same thing happened here. Photo of my trade with Sunny on Friday, that again when bank Nifty took resistance here, I took a short trade. Of course, I booked my profits around here, because after that everything just went in the sideways zone.
Mr. Damle, I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm sorry to interrupt. I guess this is a query which everyone must be having. First, could you please take us through the background, like how you have decided?
Yeah.
Like one of the questions just now is, how did you decide it is a trending day or non-trending day? So some thought process before executing the trade, and then could you please just slowly move your mouse, because there is a lag between the voice and the screen. I'm sorry, huh?
So no problem. Huh? Yeah. So see, the thing is, I'm pretty sure everybody must have. Yeah, I mean, if you are an index trader, then you must know about the Camarilla pivot points, central pivot point range. That's like that one line, and above that line there are 6 pivot lines. Down there are 6 pivot lines, L1 to L6. So if you use the Camarilla pivot points, I can't show you the Camarilla pivot points here because I think in investing is that indicator is not available. But and for this day, then the central pivot, if the bank nifty keeps bouncing just below and above the central pivot break, there are actually the basic thing about the trending market is at least the index or any equity has to break that R3, or on the lower side it is the L3. If it breaks that third pivot line on the down side, 15 minutes or 30 minutes, then some short covering comes. Like you can see, if you see here, this was not a trending market in the beginning. The bank nifty had fallen too much on the previous day. So this happened. I didn't actually trade on this day. As you can see, there were ups and downs at every. The bank nifty went higher. There was profit booking at this. I'll show you just a moment. See if here. See, this is also the in here around 37,900 zones. Then previously this was the resistance for bank nifty. So as long as the resistance was there, you cannot buy above, and 38,000 is basically the biggest resistance to trending market. I just use MBOT data and Camarilla pivot point, because if you can see, we get 4 photos every 5 minutes, and in the last photo we get the PCR ratio of a different strike price. Is trading near the strike price where the PCR is back, that is 1, then it's not going to be a trending market. As long in the foreign markets like Dow futures crashing 200 points or Dow futures rising 200 points, concept that I'm pretty sure everybody knows about, that's max pain. And max pain actually tells where market might head. If, like, you can see the max pain for Nifty on.
Could you show that data?
It was 900, I think.
And the trade.
Yeah, I'll just.
First, we can have a screenshot of that trade, which you shared with me also, and then the relevant data which you used before.
Yeah, okay. Just a moment. Yeah, zoom in. And if I zoom in here, for the bank, the PCR for at the strikes of 37,500. Can everybody see? Hello?
Yes, it is visible. Yes.
Yeah. So the PCR for bank nifty at 37,500 is currently for the expiry of 14th of 6 levels, and that was at the end of the trading session. So for, you can see that for one, more than 2 put options which are being written. by the put writers. And at the 38,000 level, it is exactly opposite scene 3.6. So that's the opposite case. For one put option, there are two calls being written. So the bank nifty is basically 38,000 levels. And if you can see the 38,500 level, the PCR is 0.05. So basically, for I'm sure that there are no put writers at that level, but if there are any, then for every one put, there are more than that level. And exactly the opposite thing is happening at 37,000 level. So that's why I said that 37,300 tomorrow, because as you can see, the bond yield is has risen. It's again. So if any volatile move happens, if we get a gap down tomorrow, then 37,500 is broken. What the PCR is, the put writing that 37,000 strike price holds is the bank nifty to get support there. And if there is a up move, which I highly doubt, about 38,000 well in the nifty. So if we get an up move, then we might head towards the 38,377 there, 52-week high for the bank nifty right now. And as you wanted to show, you wanted to know, talked about, see, this was the data on Friday. Yeah, just a moment, I will go. Yeah, the images here. Now you can see this is the nifty. I was clearly suggesting bullishness in the nifty. I mean, the difference was not that much. I mean, only 19,000, and that was basically purely short covering, which happened in the nifty. The means that put option has total outflow. That 18,000 call option also holds the outstanding. So the nifty is basically trapped between this 200-point range. 79. If we get a gap down, then it might be I might have an idea that we 50, because and basically the result season is starting. So this was the nifty picture in the morning. So but as you can see, the bank nifty there, it was already, the OI data was already going to 12. That's when the bank nifty, I think the underlying was, this is the spot price, so 37,900 and the 80 or something like that. So this was the first sign that bank nifty might give you an, because the long trade was on the nifty. If you had bought nifty on the previous day, then you could have booked your point about 17,900 levels. But for an intraday trader, there was the trade in the bank nifty, which there was for Friday. I didn't have that much position sizing, because at that time at 37,900 the PCR was 0.73. So they, at that level, So I didn't take a very aggressive trade basically, which I on Bank Nifty went to the 38,100 level. But obviously it worked out because the Bank Nifty daily, if I go for in the end of the trading session, the difference went up to 1,48,000. If you read the data that is being provided to you every 5 minutes, and if you can interpret what is exactly, you don't need, you can't just watch the index charts all the time. You also have to keep the eye, represent that index. I mean, there are 12 banks. If HDFC Bank is Real Bank or IDFC First, they cannot take the Bank Nifty higher. So basically, the weightage of the banks. We have shared one view in the MOT Lounge group around the 15th of September. That is Bank Nifty, Kotak Bank, ICICI, and SBI to go higher. Kotak Bank did go higher. It went from 1870 to 2070. But the main problem with banks is as soon as they get near their 52-week high, the FIs are squaring off their positions, the long positions which they are taking when in every day. So, and there is also the FI data for the past 1 week. Then they are selling continuously in the cash market, balancing them out. That's why the market is in the range bound situation. If both of them starts in the cash market or in the index futures, then we might see the downside, which Nifty, which I think we need till the 17,500 levels, and 17,500 is for the next week at least. I would advise that if you are going to trade in index, then avoid Nifty. IT companies which are going to share the results, announce their results in the next week, and all of them are actually indexed. However, there is HDFC Bank results. So for the time being, Nifty is not in the right position. If you trade in equity futures and options, then the result season is, it is the season where you can make most of your money. So if right now the Nifty, the levels of resistance 17, 1950 is the resistance, which is, it went there in November, and again on the Friday, that's the yesterday. So that's the resistance. Nifty is, if Nifty needs to go, if Nifty can go above 18,000, then Bank Nifty will also break. Highly unlikely for the time being. And I also tracked the AD. Which are very contemporary over there, and the Infosys ADR fell more than 4% on Friday. And Wipro's results were not, the revenue growth was good, but so I don't think the IT sector will outperform. The way TCS, I'll just share the TCS chart with you.
We cannot see the charts.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So if you see the Tata consultancy 980 on the 15th of September, break that high, but this was the totally a failed attempt. I mean, these two candles doesn't show any sign of strength. So, and after that, this was just a pure volatility. These last 3-4 they were just evening. Was tracking the open interest data in the futures and also in the option chain, and it doesn't really support the. I mean, has happened with these kind of stocks that TCS. I have tracked TCS for the last 2 quarters. There is a gap of opening in the TCS after results, and all of that gets sold into on the same day itself previously. So if you are an investor, you can of course buy TCS at any price. But if you are a trader in equity, buy TCS futures or any out of the money call options. And of course, there is a decay in the IT stock for the. So that's for the Nifty trade, which I would see. If we get good results from the other IT stocks, then yeah, Nifty will go higher because after that, the auto stocks are also for the time being, the auto stock index is going higher and higher. But trade for the next week. Now that on Friday we have taken the support around 37,711, around the levels of 37,500 or 37,300, 400. Then you could buy that dip, but you should trail your stop losses at the Friday's close. If your position sizing, it should not be very much higher on buying that dip, because we are not very good. I mean, the Dow futures and S&P futures remained flat. There was a little bit downside in the. Yeah, but and if you are a positional trader, then hedge your overnight positions for any naked call or put options. And even if you do, then your lot size should not be great. That should be the maximum lot size for any naked call or put option, because the risk reward right now is not favorable. And unless it comes down below 1.6 levels, overnight trade should be avoided at any cost, because levels there was high volatility in the Nifty Bank especially, and also the dollar was trading around levels, which is actually good for the IT stocks. So, but if I call the MBOT, but there is also the data interpretation, which is very important. Yeah. So this is one photo. So as you can see in the bank Nifty, this was the data for Friday at the 37,500 open interest. There was total open and change was 15,000. So almost 30% open 500. And as you can see, the 38,000 call, there is around 80,000 open interest, and 50% open interest addition. So this is the range that I was talking about, 37,500 to 38,000. Who uses the just on the 5-minute or 15-minute chart to for intraday trading. You don't actually need the, if you're a positional trader, then yeah, you should study the moving averages because they are very helpful, the 200 days especially in the 15-minute chart. So the Nifty line, and so if and just one thing I wanted to on the daily chart for the positional traders. Let's see, this is the daily chart. The screen. I hope there is no problem.
We can see it.
Mr. Sukhat, I'm sorry to interrupt. Just 1 minute left for this session. So I will create one more session. Please, I'm sorry for that limitation. All right, I'll create one more session. This is going to end. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay, no problem.